Assalamualaikum, hey everyone. So for today's video I thought I would do a foundation review on the Dermacol foundation. I just got this the other day and it was floating around on my recommended list quite long for about a month or maybe a couple of weeks, and I thought I'd try it out since I do have some acne scarring that I do want to cover, and apparently this is a high coverage foundation and so many people really rave on about this, so I thought I'd try it out myself. And yeah, I will be doing a check-in so you guys can see how it is throughout the day. I will be checking in 4 hours and then a total of 8 hours because I feel like everyone wears the foundation for about 8 hours roughly. And yeah, oh, by the way, I have a dry skin, a sensitive skin and acne prone skin, so if your guys' skin is similar to mine, maybe this kind of will help you guys a bit. And yeah, I will kind of read what Dermacol says. I actually found it really hard to actually get this. It's a European brand, so I don't think they sell it in the UK, or I've not seen it in any shops. I had to get this off eBay. I will leave where I got it from in the description bar below, and yeah, I'll just kind of read what Dermacol have said on their website. So they said this is the clinically tested extreme covering makeup cover, was created as the first of its kind in Europe and one of the first in the world. The license for this foundation was eventually sold to Hollywood. It contains 50% pigments, which makes it a weapon against skin imperfections. Dermacol makeup cover provides perfect coverage even in thin layers and is the perfect corrective for dark under eye, unpleasant spots and skin blemishes. It completely covers acne, loss of pigmentation, post-surgical bruising, tattoos, etc. It may be used on the entire face or body for colour correction, darkening or lightening the skin tones and ensuring ideal balance. It is widely used as a professional makeup for photo or film shoots, modelling and for festive occasions. It does cover your acne and stuff, but in terms of under eyes, I've seen a lot of people say that it's not that good for under eyes. I do think you have to be extremely careful if you're going to use it in the under eye area. What I did was I used whatever was kind of left on my brush and used it in that area. I feel like because a little bit does go a long way with this, you kind of can end up with a heavy under eye concealer. So do be careful if you are going to use it underneath, but it did conceal very well with just like whatever was left on my brush. In terms of my makeup after application of the foundation, any cream products tend to kind of slip a bit. I feel like you do kind of need to let the foundation dry. Usually with my other foundations I can just put my foundation on and then go straight away to like doing the rest of my makeup. I feel like with this you kind of do need it to kind of set in a bit. Maybe that was just me because I wore a lot of moisturizer because I do have dry skin. But yeah, I did find that a lot of cream products, it was kind of like coming off on my fingers and stuff a bit. Once I had powdered the areas where I needed to, it was okay and it didn't like kind of rub off or anything like that. In terms of colour range as well, I do think it's really bad. You'll see in the next clip that when I did apply it to my face, it was extremely light. Now I kind of went off of other people's videos and what I thought I kind of looked like my skin tone would be like. Apparently I was wrong. It was really light, and I feel like that's the downside of it. You kind of can't really see if it will match your skin until you get it through the post, so it kind of sucks in that sense. Unless you live in Europe, then it's probably more accessible. But yeah, it's really hard to get your right foundation colour, and I do think that I'm not the most darkest person in the world, and this was one of the most darkest shades on there. I think there was only about 4 more shades on there left over till until it was the darkest shade. So I do think that it doesn't really have that much of a section for darker skin tones, so that's kind of crap. In my opinion overall though, I do think it's a very nice high coverage foundation. I think that it went on okay. It did need a bit of work compared to my other foundations, but I understand why, because it is quite high coverage. It seems like it's gonna stay put all day, so yeah, I guess my opinion so far is I really like it. I think it looks really natural as well. When I kind of had that this was a high coverage foundation, I kind of expected it to be a bit cakey and a bit heavy, but it actually looks really natural. It looks like my other foundations, which are like medium coverage or like light coverage. So I quite like this so far. So I've not primed, but I have moisturised. I've used the Cetaphil moisturiser and I've used the La Roche-Posay 50 Plus and Thelios XL moisturiser. and I've just put those on my face and let it sink in. Whoops, just dropped something. I'm now gonna test out this Dermacol foundation. I got this with the post not long ago, and I've not opened it yet, so I don't know if the shade is right or not. But yeah, looks like this, and I think it has like a little pin thing at the end, so you kind of just, because it has like a foil, it kind of looks a bit like toothpaste. But I'm gonna pop that in, and let's see if the colour's right, because I'm not too sure. I looked online and it seemed okay, but okay, it is really light on my skin, like really, oh my gosh. Okay, that's really light. I've got it everywhere. Okay, on this side I have like not that much scarring, so I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge to kind of blend it in. Okay, it's kind of hard to blend. But considering I only took a little bit, it has covered, I think, quite a lot. I saw this online quite a bit and everyone kept saying how it's extremely full coverage, and I kind of get what they mean. It does look a bit more thicker than most of my foundations. Not in a bad way or anything, like it does feel very light. It doesn't feel like a thick foundation, but it does kind of, it looks natural, but you can tell it's covering quite a bit. So I'm just going to take a little bit more of this on my finger. I'm like taking the smallest amount, if that focuses. I hope you guys can see that. I'm just going to dot that on the rest of my face, wherever I need it. Oh, I should have really put some on my nose. Okay. I feel like the first time when I put it on my face, I let it sink in before blending it, so that's probably why it was hard to blend, because right now it's okay. It's not like as tough compared to before. I kind of really love the finish of it. It looks very natural. I feel like it is high coverage, but it's not really covering that like scar there. I feel like it's very pale for my skin as well. I feel like I got the wrong colour. But oh well. I'm just going to take a bit more to put on this side, because I do need to cover a lot on this side. Well, not a lot, it's not like insanely bad, but yeah. And I think I'm going to take my Real Techniques contour brush. This is a contour brush, but I love it for putting my, like, blending my foundation in. So I'm just going to see if I can blend it in. Okay, that concealed that area really well. I have seen people use it for under eyes as well, but they said that it caked up, so I think I might just take whatever I have left on my brush and just kind of move it there instead, rather than getting like a whole new like amount. Okay, that did a good job. Like, it does what my concealer basically does. That did a pretty good job of concealing everything. I can kind of see it on the camera, but like in person I can't really see anything. Like, I guess that needs a bit of extra coverage. I might spot conceal with this actually. Let me see. I feel like with the beauty blender you get more of a sheer coverage, whereas when I use the brush, maybe because it's more of a precise brush, it kind of packed it on a bit. I think you can tell on camera this side looks very kind of, not heavy, but it looks more flawless compared to that side. It looks a bit more natural. Kind of like how it looks more with the beauty blender, because I'm more of a natural person than a heavy coverage person. I'm just going to kind of spot conceal where I need it. So in terms of coverage, I think it's really good. Like, it looks very natural, and sorry if I keep looking there, my like mirror is up there, but it looks really natural and very flawless. I'm gonna just set it with my PS Pro powder this is a long wear finishing powder. I'm just going to apply it to anywhere where I have any acne scarring and just underneath my eye area, just because I want to make sure that those kind of last a bit, but and it's kind of stays on longer, if that makes sense. But I don't want to set the entire foundation because I want to see how it goes and how it wears throughout the day. So I've just finished my makeup, and I've basically done quite a natural look with a lot of glow. But yeah, in overall sort of thing, when I'm applying my makeup, I feel like you have to let the foundation kind of dry a little bit, because I first kind of started doing my makeup as soon as I switched the camera off, and it started to kind of like rub off onto my hands a bit. So I feel like you do kind of need it to kind of dry a bit first, or you kind of need to powder it first. I've not powdered, like I said, the rest of my face. I've just kind of powdered like around that area where I have like any scarring and stuff, because I don't want it to kind of peek through throughout the day. And I've just powdered underneath my eyes, otherwise it will just wrinkle and crease. I was mixing those two words together, but yeah, so far this is my makeup, how it looks, and I will check in about 4 hours hopefully, and then another 8 hours, so you guys can see how it wears throughout the day. So yeah, so it's now almost been 4 hours and the time is 6 o'clock exactly, and the foundation has held up pretty well. My acne is not peeking through at all. It looks like I have flawless skin, and my skin looks very dewy and nice. I do admit around my nose area it's a little bit oily, but I forgot to powder it. I usually do get oily around my nose area, and that's just my fault, I guess. But yeah, it looks pretty good considering it's been on for 4 hours. I'm kind of annoyed about the colour being too light, but oh well. Anyway, I'll check in another 4 hours and see you in a bit. So it's now been the full 10, I keep saying 10, it's now been the full 8 hours, and it's now 10:19, that's probably why I keep saying 10. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this foundation. It's held up really well. I'm sorry if I look tired, my eyes are like super red right now, but yeah, it's held up really well. Usually when I wear foundation, it always tends to kind of disappear throughout the day, and usually you can see my acne scarring or any acne that I have, but with this foundation it has not like shown much of my acne. Like I feel like it's starting to wear off here, but I feel like that's probably because of my hijab. I keep like pulling it forward, so I feel like it might have rubbed off there, because on this side it's not been that bad. So yeah, I really do like this foundation. I think the colour range kind of sucks because people with darker skin tones can't really access this foundation, plus it's really hard to get. But other than that, I think it's a really good high coverage foundation. Oh, by the way, it's kind of gone a bit red there. I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but that's just because I've been wiping my nose because I had spicy food. But yeah, other than that, it's not really weared that much, and considering that I've been wiping my nose, only a bit has rubbed off. So it's pretty good foundation. I would say if you have oily skin though, to maybe powder it or use something mattifying, like a mattifying primer, because I have dry skin. Well, I have dry combination skin, so my nose does get like super oily in the summer, and the rest of my face is like super dry. But yeah, I've noticed my skin feels more dewy than it does anything else, and so I feel like if you have oily skin, maybe try using a powder or maybe use a mattifying primer or something like that. If you have dry skin, this is probably perfect for you. And if you have acne prone skin and sensitive skin, I mean, it doesn't feel irritating or anything like that to my skin, so I give it a thumbs up. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and comment down below any videos that you want me to do. Hopefully, inshallah, I will be doing more foundation reviews, and I am kind of pre-filming a few videos, so I have more videos up. And thank you for all the love that has been on my YouTube channel as well. I forgot to mention it in my last video, but thank you so much for like all the comments and the new subscribers and all the new I was going to say comments, but I already said that. You can tell I'm so tired. But yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Assalamu alaikum.